Thanks for clicking on this video. I know it's long, but please, it will mean a lot if you just like my video. I will not ask you to subscribe to me. And in this video I will tell about my whole life story with my eye problem. This is like my whole life story till now, from the time I can remember. And it might get a little boring. So my advice, leave a like and stop watching this video. Let's start now. Before I had my eye surgery, I had very bad vision. And I mean, the worst vision someone could have. My parents came to know about my eye problem when I was like around 3 years old. One day when I was playing with my toys, I was searching for a toy that was right in front of me, but I wasn't able to see it. My father came and gave it to me. From that moment, my father was a little concerned, so he brought me to an eye doctor for a checkup to see if I had any eye problems. And unfortunately, I had a very bad eye problem or disease. There was only a chance of 1 out of 1,000 people to have it, and unfortunately, that unlucky person was me. Now, as I live in Manipur and it was around the year 2014, there wasn't really good facilities or hospitals where my eye surgery could be done. So, we went to Guwahati, Assam, after every 6 months for checkup. And it was costly and also a lot of waste of time, because even if we went there was no improvement in my eyes. The doctors told me that I had to be at least 14 years old for the eye surgery, so we waited and waited, but still went to Guwahati every 6 months. I had to change my spectacles every year from 2017 because my vision was getting worse and worse every single year. My spectacle power was -16 in 2017, and it turned to -18 on 2019. I was around class 1 in 2017, I think. And also, because of my eye condition, most of the teachers at school loved me a lot. As my school was a Catholic school, the teacher, sisters and fathers, because there are 2 fathers, 1 vice principal and 1 main principal, they were very kind to me, always looked over me to see if I got into any trouble. Well, then 2020 came and COVID also came. Those cringy likey memes and that one Uncle Joker from TikTok filled my Instagram and YouTube. Well, I am glad that cringe is over now. And because of COVID, no one was allowed to go out of their houses. And because of that, we stopped going to Guwahati for checkups. Well, it was okay since I didn't really like going to Guwahati. Wastage of time and money, and also I didn't feel safe living near so many non-Manipurites. No discrimination, but I prefer to live with my own native people than with the other non-Manipurites. Let's not bring this video to discussing the types of people I feel secure with. Let's continue. And in I think March 2022, the lockdown in Manipur was removed. And because of that, we were able to go to school again. Yay! And from there I started going to school, but it was really hard to focus on my studies. And also, even after I wore my spectacles, I wasn't able to read the question paper given to me during the exam. So I always had to give an application to our principal to permit me to sit in the dispensary, so that the dispensary nurse or ma'am can read the questions for me and I can write the answer. I was giving all my exams in the dispensary room from when I was class 1 till now. And because of that, some teachers also teased me that I will bring my dispensary ma'am to the school and will giving my 10th board exam. In class 6, I had my first pair of best friends. I won't say their names. Let's just call them Diamond and Lucas. Well, we had a lot of fun together. And also I always sat in the first bench since I was almost blind. But our class teacher of class 6 did bench rotation. So sometimes I had to sit with the girls. I sat with girls, so what? It's not like I was simp. I was the Rizzler of my school. I had the most Riz among all my friends. And if you don't believe me, we can have a Riz battle. But don't forget to bring a bandage. You will need to put it on your knee when you fall for me. Let's continue to make it emotional. I don't want to make this video into a meme. As I was saying, in class 6 2022 it was very peacefully. because we all just came to school after around like 2 years, and we all didn't really knew each other at school. A little bit awkwardness was there, but it was okay since we all were sharing the same experience. And then exams came. I failed both first terminal exam and second terminal exam. And when it was time for the final exam, I knew what I had to do. I stopped playing games on my tablet, studied more without knowing day and night. Then finally I passed final exam with 38th rank, I think. I was always very weak at studies because of these stupid eyes. I hated my eyes a lot from my childhood because I wasn't able to live a normal life because of them. But with the grace and love of the Heavenly Lord, I was able to pass the Class 6 final exam with the highest rank till now. And then Class 7 came. I don't know if I liked it or not, because from that time I felt insecure about my looks and started wearing mask 24/7. Boo! Girls looked at me like I was some kind of monkey who ran out of the zoo. Well, at least that mask gave me comfort, and I don't know how, but I was very young compared to my friends. I mean, even a boy from Class 5 was older than me, and that's why I was a little, let's just say, popular among the girls for being very young in Class 7. And also when we started off Class 7, a Muslim girl whom my friends always teased me that I had a crush on her. But in reality, I don't even know what love feels like was in the same class as me. And on the first day she looked at me creepy. I didn't really like the way she looked at me, and in Class 7, I made a new pair of friends. Let's call them World Bright and Wealth Runner. I just translated their names from Manipuri to English because our school was an English medium school, and I was very fluent in English. And if you watched Motu Patolu in your childhood, and you remember the face of the boxer in that cartoon, my friend Wealth Runner looks like Boxer. Just remove the mustache. And in Class 7 I also made my first ever Muslim male friend. He was very white, though, not gonna lie. But Class 7 also brought some sad things. Our computer teacher from Class 6 that I liked the most was suspended because he admitted a student to the school who didn't win the school lottery. Well, in Class 7 it was 2023, and I still remember that time. On May 3rd, when I was walking out of the school talking to that one Muslim girl whom my friends teased me that I had a crush on her. She smiled when I was talking to her, before going with my friend World Bright. And on that night, war broke out in Churachandpur, Manipur. Kukis started killing innocent Meitei civilians, burning down and destroying the local Meitei's houses and sacred temples, and raping innocent Meitei girls and women. And because of that, many civilians who came out alive from that night in Churachandpur have to stay in relief camps till now, because the condition of the war is still very bad till now. And those Kukis didn't even let the young girls who were not even 10 years old. They raped them too. One little 6-year-old girl's thigh was even broken because those Kukis had, her very hard. Those Indians go for public rally just because one doctor was raped in the hospital. But if we compared that to the rape cases of Manipur, which were committed just right on that single day and were blind-eyed, that doctor's rape was just a grain of salt on the beach. By this I don't mean that the doctor's rape case should be blind-eyed too, but I'm just not really happy that the Indian government doesn't look over the northeastern states until the Manipurists earn a medal in the Olympics. If I make a separate video describing the war in Manipur, it's gonna be at least 30 minutes long, but still let me give you a little detail about the communal clash. As I was saying, after that on May 4th, 7:15 p.m. at night, the Manipur government shut down the internet in the whole valley area for 3 months. That's why I must say this. Meitei are the strongest people on this entire earth, because none of you are gonna even survive if the internet was banned for 3 days. But here in Manipur it was banned for more than 3 months. As I was saying, after the curfew was over after 3 months, I think around July the curfew was removed. But still, danger was there because some suicide bomber Kukis are still walking in the valley areas unknown. And the amount of Meitei rape cases and missing Meitei cases in the villages near the Kuki territory didn't stop even if the curfew was removed. And because of this war, many Meitei students living in the villages near the Kuki territory mostly Kalash or class 11-12 had taken guns in their hand to defend off their villages from the Kukis. My heart sinks when I see them in arms instead of books and pens. I mean, they were just 3-4 years older than me. If he just had paid more attention, and just sent the Maide commandos in Churachandpur, and just killed some Kuki terrorists who started the war, this wouldn't have gone so far. But what can we do? His own 3 wives were Kukis. And near the end of class 7, I think around November 2023, I started my YouTube channel. After the final exams of class 7, my parents took me for an eye checkup as we had a little bit of time in our hands because there was winter vacation. And when we went for checkup, the power of my spectacles dropped down by a huge amount. It used to be -18, but now it turned to progressive. And the doctor was shocked, and I rocked. Then in class 8 I didn't went on the first day. And because of that my friend Bright didn't knew I was in the same section as him. So he sat with someone else. And also, that year I was very lucky, as both the girls' captain and the boys' captain were my best friends from past classes, so they never wrote my name. And because of that both the captains were corrupted. Well, this is India after all, so corruption is kinda normal. And there I met a lot of girls who looked good, but not from the heart, and girls who looked like baddies and looked like they didn't care about anything, but they were better than those who looked like they were nice. Well, in class 8 I made a new best friend. Let's call him King. So King was a type of guy who always thought that he looked better in every way possible. Like he was short and fat, and there on the other hand I was tall and skinny. If he was Mexican I think he would be cuter, but unfortunately, he wasn't. And also he had a crush on an Instagram model who used to study in the same tuition as him, but she didn't even knew he existed. Womp womp. And on the other hand, he was truly obsessed with her, and here I am confused that how the heck do people get crush on other people, because till now, I have never gotten a crush on any person. And also my friend Diamond was the boys' captain of his classroom, and the Muslim girl was in his class, and she was also the girls' captain. I was in section D and most of my old friends were in section E, so I usually put my bag in my classroom and used to go to their classroom to meet them and talk around with them. Had a lot of fun, but the girls in section E didn't really seem to like my presence and talking to my friends. Well, I don't care since I didn't know them, and I don't know how, but my female friends treated me like a little kid, but they even beat up my male friends. I still don't know how they have never gotten angry at me. I mean, all my female friends were very caring towards me and a monster towards my male friends. I guess I just got lucky that I was younger than them. Let's continue. And in the half-yearly exam I failed for subjects. But I negotiated with the teachers and they made me pass into subjects. And the subjects I still failed were science and maths. Classic, science with 33 marks and maths with 37 marks. Well, don't call me a failure, because for science I was studying day and night, and since my immune system was weak like a sloth, I had to go number 2 times during the examination. Each one took more than 30 minutes to finish, so in total let's say it took me around 1.5 hours. And the exam was for 3 hours. So how the hell am I supposed to pass when I was giving the exam in 1.5 hours? Let's not talk about that too much. As I was supposed to say, I think class 8 was the best year since our class teacher was very good. Always joking around, understanding students, and last but not the least, he knew how to teach students in the funniest way possible so we won't forget the lessons he taught, and the subject he taught in our class was Manipuri. Now in the final exams of class 8 I didn't really cared much, and I uploaded videos. The final exam was during December, and if you remember, in December I used to post like daily shorts just like in the month of April. That's why my friends who knew I had a YouTube channel were shocked and usually asked, how do you post videos during exam? Or bro, go study. You can upload your videos after exam. I just laughed at the fact that they were shocked about me posting videos during exams. And they also supported me, mostly Agent. And on the result out day of the final exam in class 8, on January 12th I think, and I don't know how, but whenever there is a school event or something, I always come late and all the other students are like just staring at me, like I am some sort of main character in an anime. As I was saying, on the result out day, I was hoping to get low marks as I didn't study much unlike my other friends who studied day and night. And I was also sitting with King, who always showed attitude to me because I failed in the half-yearly exam and he got 8th rank in half-yearly exam. But today the tables turned. He said he would get inside 5th rank. I cheered him on. Every time our sir said a rank, I patted his arm and said, "Next is you." But when Sir called out the 18th rank, it was me. His name was still not being called and Bry's expression on that moment was hilarious. And on the 23rd rank his name was called. He was a bit angry that I got more marks than him. And on the other hand I was hugging my friend, Nendu, and shedding tears of joy, cause I passed. And after that, in restarting of January 2025, we went to a new eye doctor who also was a guest surgeon in Guwahati, Assam. And when we went there they did a lot of tests. The one I am most afraid of was the biopsy test. And the blood pressure on both of my eyes were very high, so he prescribed us an eye drop to reduce the blood pressure on both my eyes. The doctor also told us that my eye operation should be done before I turn 14 years, because when there will be no reason to do the lens surgery since my brain will think that I can't see more than what I am seeing now. We were shocked since those other doctors in Guwahati always told us that the surgery on my eye can't be done until I turn 14. And after putting that eye drop for like around 3 weeks, like he prescribed, my first eye surgery was done on January 18. I think it was around that. And during the operation, they injected anesthesia in my eye, right here. If you all were in that situation, you all would be screaming at the top of your lungs. I was very nervous when the doctor said that he will inject the anesthesia in my eye before the operation. I just said in my mind, "Don't worry, Jesus will protect you. You will not die. It's just a little bit of pain." And then the operation started, and I don't know how, but there were many, gorgeous nurses in that hospital. If other people were in my situation, they would be calmed down because of the nurses and because they were acting cutely towards me. But as of me not being a simp, their presence didn't calm me. My heart was racing fast because of the operation. And when I came out of the operation room after the operation, my father sat me down a bench and took a picture of me. And after that, the dressing of my eye was done the day right after. But seriously, when the operation was around halfway done, the anesthesia also started to wear off, and I started to feel the pain in my eyes due to the instruments being inserted in my eye. So I just grabbed the bed sheets tightly and didn't even flinch or scream. I am a tough man, you know? And as I was saying, the doctor prescribed around for medicines to heal my eye from the surgery. And the second eye surgery was done on February 12th, just 2 days before Valentine's. And I happened to be so lucky that the Valentine's Day was on Friday and there was no holiday at school. And after that surgery, on April 3rd I started going to school again. But we had to give an application to the school principal to give me the consent to wear the sunglasses prescribed by the doctor to protect my new set of eye lens from dust and sunlight. Our principal already knew me, so when my grandpa went to give the leave for my eye operation, our father said that he will also pray for the betterment of my eyes. And my grandpa told me that many people were talking about my absence at school. My friends also asked me regularly that when I am coming to school and how my eyes are. But I really appreciate that Agent sent me all the notes by taking it from another person in our class, since Agent and I weren't in the same section. And when I started going to school again, I wore sunglasses, so my friends told me I looked like Terminator, because I was also wearing a black mask. At school, met up with all my friends from other sections. They also were concerned about my eye, and when I went to school, the date was around April 3rd or 4th, the time when I started posting daily Jesus Christ edits. And after around like 2 days of going to school, I started to see a red liquid-like area in my right eye. When we went to the doctor, He just said that it was the reaction that was happening due to the iris and the lens colliding. But I knew something was off, since how can those two colliding make only small red area? It should be the whole eye. So my grandpa and I went for checkup again after some days. And this time we also took an ultrasound. And this time the doctor said that both the top and bottom part of my retina had shed off from the eyeball. So he prescribed me an eye drop, which made it worse. And because of that we did the retina operation right 2 days after. And now I am not able to go school again. So pray for my eyes. Bye guys.